Welcome to Feared Armor, a channel dedicated to helping you understand a battle between good and evil that is raging in the dimensional realm and how that manifests into our physical realm. This channel's foundation is a book I wrote called The Deathless War, Surviving the Final Battle Between Good and Evil. And tonight we're going to start a series in Chapter 7 called Enemy Strategies, and we're going to be looking at many of the different strategies that the enemy uses against humans and all of humanity. Tonight, the very first one in enemy strategies is called infiltration. Infiltration is the process by which an individual with nefarious intentions gets themselves injected into an organization or a government or a position of power in society anywhere in the world, and from that position has nefarious intentions deep down within themselves that they wish to start to promote inside the organization, but they infiltrate themselves into positions of power and influence so that once they're there, then their true colors can be shown. Infiltration in governments is probably something that everyone expects. I don't think anyone denies that governments all across the world have a certain amount of corruption that's engulfed, that these governments have been engulfed with. And much of that has been done by infiltration of individuals over decades and even centuries, probably. So that should not be anything of great news to anyone. What we have seen over the past several decades, however, certainly here in the United States, is an infiltration of propaganda in the educational system. This can certainly range from even grade school and high school children, but certainly it's very apparent that this is openly happening in the colleges and universities all across the country. Now, many colleges and universities don't have this issue. They certainly have people that are just simply practicing their beliefs, and here in the United States with the Constitution you have that right. When you are an employee and you are employed by a college or university, then they certainly have a certain say of what your curriculum will be and what have you. You can't just come out and say whatever that you want. But there's many university professors that have received tenure, and from that point they, let's say, technically cannot be fired, and they can then start showing their true colors without the ramifications of them being fired. So this is something that many individuals that wish to push an agenda have used. So academia is one area where you definitely see infiltration of individuals that have a different intent, that of which they went into that institution or organization with. So that one's pretty straightforward. But even in the educational system, individuals now, because this battle is raging in the dimensional realm between political parties and between good and evil, that even in the high schools and even individuals in grade schools and grammar schools tend to promote their political agendas and their belief systems and what they would like the children that they have influence over to start aligning with their thoughts and their ideas. And so this is something obviously that many parents really have issues with when they're starting to have their children come home, or they're discussing topics with their high schoolers, and they're talking about what this teacher is telling them, and there's a lot of issues with that. So again, everyone has their has to take control of these situations, especially when your children are involved. But it's a very, very real problem and real issue. But infiltration also occurs in almost every single organization, and it certainly also occurs within relationships, and even sometimes within families and family members. Not that they necessarily are not part of that and then they infiltrate into the family. They're technically a part of the family, but their thoughts are very, very different, and their motivations for maybe trying to change the rest of their family's opinions about something, again, could be shielded for a certain period of time. But it's important for us to always remember that infiltration really is everywhere. You really have to pay attention to who you're dealing with, who you're listening to. And we certainly know and have thought for a long time here in the United States that everyone supports free speech, and everyone should have an opportunity to state their opinions. And that has really, really never been an issue. But we certainly see in even a lot of these tech companies that have technology that people use on social media platforms and video platforms and what have you. Those platforms, while may have had initial good intentions, just simply wanting to be a technology that turned a profit for their shareholders, many of these companies have been, again, infiltrated by individuals that are now pushing agendas. And especially in this year of an election, it can't be any more apparent. I'm certain that many of you are able to clearly see this. So again, infiltration, big, big problem. It's part of our enemy strategies. It's people's dimensional form is influenced in the heavenly realms, and individuals that certainly may have had one intention going into an organization or government or academia or whatever their maybe a company or organization, certainly can be influenced to a point that then their true colors actually come out, or their influence dimensional form starts to somewhat overtake their thoughts and the direction that they're trying to go and take the organization or company with. So pay attention to that. Always understand and know that that's a big, big problem and something that we always have to be on the lookout for. If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. Love to see you every single day. Take care. I thank you for your time, and I'll see you on the next video.